Hello everyone and welcome to our Wednesday session. And today we'll be drawing NeuroArt, Gifts of Autumn. Autumn is a funny season and it often gets overlooked between our busy summer, when we're busy with our holidays, and between the Christmas season. But autumn is a lovely, lovely season and one of my favorite. It's full of mystery. You wake up, you go outside, and you don't know what you will see outside. It could be green today, and next day its leaves have all fallen down, and it's beautiful, and it's all yellow. Or you wake up and you come outside, and it is completely, everything's frozen. So it's autumn is a time of mystery and surprises. Autumn is a time to contemplate, wrap up warm in the warm blankets, have a nice cup of warm tea. And also autumn is a time of Thanksgiving and counting our blessings. So what I thought we'll do today is we'll draw some gifts of autumn. If you have any artifacts that you collected on your walks with kids, that's brilliant. If not, no worries. We will draw them. Okay, I'm going to swap my camera around now. Okay, this is what I collected on my walk. Well, not on my walk, on my visit to the garden, and not quite. So I got some horse chestnut, I think it's called, tomatoes from the garden, apples from the garden, leaves, it got dried a little bit by now. And I had a few other leaves, which oak leaves, but I can't find them at the moment. And these are some things from the supermarket, but I really associate figs with autumn for some reason. So these are some of the things that we can enjoy in autumn, and we'll be drawing today. And what we'll be drawing today will be completely NeuroArt. It's not NeuroGraphica. It will be NeuroArt. And what you'll need today, you will need paper of A4, A5 format. I'm going to have my A4 format paper. If you're using A5 format, which is sort of smaller paper, you can use thinner markers or kind of liners, something like this, like Pigma Micron pens are great. Yeah, for instance, I was using those pens when I did sort of a sketch for today. Yeah, so it looks, if you can use A5, and this is, I think, even smaller than A5 format. Okay, but I'll be using A4 format today. Okay, I'll swap the camera around now. I'll move my goodies. Okay, and today will be pretty much almost like neuro sketching. It's all going to be freestyle and just enjoy the process. And I thought we'll just have something fun and we'll talk autumn while we do that. Okay, hope you can see my my paper very well. So I've got my pen, and so we'll start. For me, autumn is very much, I don't know why, but it always associates with honey. And I love honey, and I use honey quite a lot. So you can draw your own things. You don't have to repeat after me, or you can. It's totally up to you. So I will attempt to draw a pot of honey. So a jar, not a pot, a jar, I think it's called. So this will be sort of this sweet drop that's falling. Okay, don't worry if you don't know or don't draw particularly well. We'll add neuro lines and then we'll round as we normally do in NeuroGraphica, so it will look amazing. Okay, what kind of pot are we going to have? I'll do this kind of pot. Oops, it looks actually funny now. It looks okay here, but I just looked on the screen. It looks a bit lopsided. Anyway, we'll fix it all later. Okay, so honey pot. Be transparent so you can see sort of the honey inside. And just to make sure we all know it's honey, we'll have name honey written. Mine will be just, this is they'll do. I think we all got the gist that it's honey. And because it's transparent, we'll do it like that. So that's our honey. You can draw again whatever you like. Autumn is a time of harvest and time of picking apples for me. Some apples are done, you know, are ripe end of summer, but I quite like autumn apples. I've got a beautiful autumn apple tree that produces the most amazing apples. Unfortunately, wasps love them too. So that's my apple here. Yeah, okay. I got some tomatoes here. This one looks quite pretty, looks like hard. I actually got the seeds. I brought the seeds from Russia. So this is a Russian tomato. So I will do a tomato here. We have some people here from Italy. They eat a lot of tomatoes. And I think they have one of the best tomatoes in the world. So this will be my tomato. You don't need to be particularly precise, like I'm not such a great artist. So, but just draw circles and put some stock on over it, they'll do. Okay, so there's also, we have a lot of, what do you call them, that fall from the oak trees? Oh, I forgot, but I'll draw them. I can't believe I've forgotten them. Those ones. If you know how they're called, please write them in the chat. Acorns, I remembered. So these are acorns. And because we draw in NeuroGraphica and we give meanings, I suggest that you can think about all the things that happened up to date throughout the year. It was a very tricky year. We had lots of trauma, we had possibly losses, but we also had some happy times and some joys. Some of you might have gotten new friends, new hobbies, new members of the family. Some of you, I know one of you is expecting a new member of the family shortly. So when you draw, think about all the blessings that you did have throughout the year. And also, if you have something important or something wonderful that's going to come into your life this autumn, also sort of draw it. You can even name it if you like. And when you draw it, give your sort of love and blessings to this person or this event. That will happen. Okay, so another thing that I've got here is the horse chestnut. Kids love playing with them. So we'll draw some of that. So they are normally kind of interesting shape, something between circle and the oval. It doesn't have to be sort of round. Again, it's NeuroGraphica and it's going to be NeuroArt. So use sort of neurographic line, don't make them perfect. Because nature is not perfect. I mean, even the apples that I get from my tree, they don't look like supermarket apples. They're all beautiful and tasty, and they're imperfected in the them being imperfect. Okay, what I'm going to draw here, I'm going to draw here an oak leaf. You can draw any leaf you like. I was reading somewhere then when the person catches a falling leaf, good luck will come. So we can all catch this leaf and we can draw it here for good luck. Okay, so that's my oak leaf. Something like that. I haven't gotten it in front of me, but that'll be my oak leaf for good luck. I was also thinking that grapes are very autumnal for me. I don't understand why, because normally I think they're picked throughout sort of summer, but for me, they're associated with autumn. So I'm going to draw some grapes here. Also, I was planning to draw your attention to the fact that it's a full moon tomorrow. Again, we tend to have either sort of new moon or full moon on our Wednesdays. It's quite amazing. And the full moon that's coming tomorrow, it's called harvest moon. And October actually is very special because we'll have 2 full moons in October. So the first full moon will be on 1st of October. And the second full moon will be on 31st of October. And everybody knows what 31st of October is. It's Halloween. And when you have 2 full moons in a single calendar month, the second full moon is also often called a blue moon. And we all know the saying, sort of once in a blue moon, which means it's very rare. And a blue moon happens only once in every 32 months. So it's a very rare event. We've got to commemorate it somehow. And even more interesting, that so on Halloween, if your kids go trick-or-treating, it will be not just a full moon, it will be a blue moon. And also it will be, the full moon only happens once every, the blue moon happens once every 32 months. And the full moon of Halloween happens only once in about 18 or 19 years. So it's a very rare event indeed. Yeah, so going back to my grapes. So I think grapes are quite fairly easy to draw. You just draw lots of ovals or circles. It depends on your grape variety. When I was little, we had this grape variety that it was called, they were really thin and really long, and they used to be called ladies' fingers. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. Just draw a leaf for the grape. I'll try to attempt to draw a grape leaf. Okay, it doesn't need to be particularly perfect. Just draw, use those Euro lines to draw one. They can go over drawing the lines, so don't worry if it's and then we'll draw this kind of stalk here, because they have large stalks, and they also have this kind of interesting sort of spirally things. So we'll draw one of these. There you go. That looks like a nice grape. If you find anything too difficult, just draw another circle, and or whatever. If it doesn't look particularly good, draw a circle around it and call it a tomato or an orange or an apple. Okay. Don't worry, it's not about perfection. We're just having fun today. There's a bit of NeuroGraphic, NeuroArt. So I'm going to do something like this. You can see some grapes coming through my apple. I was worried about this grape, but it looks actually quite decent. Okay, do you have any other suggestions what we should put? Okay, I'm thinking mushrooms, because summer, autumn is all about mushrooms. And
potatoes.
Potatoes, yes, potatoes. That's, yep, we can draw a potato. Let's do a potato at the background. Potato is actually extremely important because, you know, harvest is all about preserving things for that's my potato. Pumpkin. Yes, I was thinking pumpkin, but I'm thinking maybe we should leave it to Halloween. Yeah, pumpkin. Yeah, let's do pumpkin. Why not? We'll do, yeah. So this is the potato. Yep. I want to do pumpkin. That's the pumpkin. It's gonna go here. Trying to remember what this looks like, isn't it? The top. It's quite a thick stalk, actually, isn't it? Okay, we'll go like that. Does look like a pumpkin? Okay, well, imagine it's a pumpkin. Okay, and mushroom. Oh, I wanted mushroom because we used to actually go and collect mushrooms here. Excuse me, I'll just move it a little bit. I think now you can't collect mushrooms, but we used to collect nice seps mushrooms or white mushrooms. There's a nice Italian name for it, porcini mushrooms. Okay, mushroom. Let's make sure it's a porcini mushroom rather than some other poisonous mushrooms. We want nice mushrooms here, not picture. Something edible, something useful. Okay, that'll be nice. Little sap. There you go. Okay. Oh, we also have, in the UK at least, we have lots of blackberries, right? Ежевика in Russian. They're everywhere. So this is our blackberries. Okay, we'll do another one so it's not lonely. Nice big ones. Blackberries. Oh, and some leaves. We need some leaves, I think. Some leaves. I've got one right here. Okay, we'll do a nice maple leaf somewhere here on top. Again, just use kind of, shall I put sort of wriggly lines to draw leaves? See, I'm concentrating, so it's recognizable as a maple leaf. Yay! A little bit recognizable. It's kind of from like this. Okay, and we'll do some other leaves. Funny, I haven't even seen many We have a lot of aubergines. Oh yes, aubergines are great. Love aubergines. Yes, aubergines. They're magnificent, magnificent vegetable. So versatile. Who knows me and know that I love aubergines. Okay, I don't know the name of this tree this leaf came from. I quite like drawing trees. Autumn is a lot about accepting to let go. Yes, as sort of the trees let go of their leaves. They don't go, oh wow, my leaves are all falling, what am I going to do? Because it does it every year. It renews itself, the trees. So I think we need, some of us, me personally, need to learn how to let go sometimes. So autumn can give us actually quite a lot of life lessons. Okay, that's another. Some more. I've got to do some more oak leaves. I'll do it. A large leaf. Nothing is according to scale. Don't worry about that. And we'll do some more leaves here. Walnuts, yes, walnuts. Well, let's draw a walnut somewhere. Yes, walnuts. Makes me think of Christmas. Walnuts. Does look like walnuts. Okay. If you want, you can put some more leaves here. Just to make it all pretty. Autumnal. Yes. Okay. I think I've got my composition. So now we're going just to round everything. As we do when we draw NeuroGraphica. Everybody's here who's done it before. So we'll just go over. And as you go from one object to another, go around using sort of this neurographic lines, not straight, but lines that are live and bionic. Make it live. And you can think about what this particular object represents for you. For instance, this pot of honey. I'm thinking that I'm really thankful for the fact that this year I really had the time to study what I actually enjoy doing. And although it was a very dodgy and a very hard year, I'm thankful for it that we had time to reconnect with our loved ones. Okay, so this is my NeuroGraphica here, it has a pot of honey. Can add more. Can add more things to it. And the apple will be, when I look at it, I'm thinking about my family. It was initially very difficult to accept the fact that you're stuck at home, but then it gave you really nice and precious time with your loved ones. And you can draw sort of, again, lines between the objects, and you can unite them. And if you had some losses during the pandemic, you can. I've lost sort of a loved one right before the pandemic, actually. But I would like, sort of, as I draw this acorn, think about him and give thanks for the fact that I knew him. And wish him to rest in peace. So you can connect everything together. I'm going to move on to my grapes. And the grapes, again, you can think about what you want these grapes to be. I would like these grapes to be all my sort of new friends, my Facebook friends that I met during this year. And all of you here, I'm really thankful for the fact that you are here. It's a great pleasure to spend this time with you and draw together. Sometimes we'll draw something fun. Sometimes we'll draw something meaningful. Today is fun. It's fun. But as with all sort of neurographic drawings, you can sort of have some insights, and you can take something sort of interesting and meaningful out of it. Because every time we draw, we'll always draw with meaning. So these grapes are all my sort of friends. And just go over and connect all of them together. Make sure the lines are not straight. Make sure that they're, like I do, sort of slightly wavy, and I like to call it bionic line. And go over a few times. And you might draw something, one of those objects, maybe something that you don't really, not particularly pleasant to think about, but even things that are unpleasant experiences are still experiences, and they make us who we are. So you can draw this event or this person or whatever, and sort of pay attention to it, and while you draw it, thank this event or this person and let go, like trees let go of their leaves in autumn. Because autumn is a time to let go. Autumn is a time to look after yourself, but also because we're also kind of running around, and I find in summer, but autumn is just a time to conserve, take stock of what we have, and conserve our energy. It's very much in season, in yan, sort of. Summer is yan season, and autumn is in season. Okay, I'm going to the leaf. If you have any reflections, any interesting thoughts, or please share in the chat. I do find autumn very mysterious. For me, it's the most mysterious season. It's very interesting how it's everything's slowing down. And there is something in the air. The air is crisp and cooler and fresher. With the neurolines, you can sort of take the neuroline and take it to the edge of the paper. Connect everything, make it all connected. Because although we're drawing gifts of autumn, they're also gifts of life, gifts of this season, or gifts of this year to you. Concentrating on this part of the drawing, I think I need to go to the other side. I'm going to look after this potato. I had potato for dinner. I hope it looks like a potato. Okay, potatoes, they come on different shapes and sizes. So autumn is also very much about protection. Why protection, you ask? That's because we protect our bodies with nice warm scarves, blankets, to focus on our health, surroundings, make our house nice and warm. Because as you know, I grew up in Russia. I still remember autumn was a time when my mom and I helped her. We took various sort of pieces of sort of fabric and some special stuff, and we stuck it between sort of, when you close the windows, it creates tiny gaps, and we would put them between the sort of double glazed windows. I mean, you don't need to do it now because sort of windows these days are modern. But when I was growing up, we had this sort of old style windows. And just to protect our sort of flats from the draft, etc., we did that. Just remember that when we're talking about protection and protecting our houses. And probably in the old days, our ancestors really did take extra care to look at the way they live and protecting themselves from the elements. This time of the year. So we need to protect ourselves and look after ourselves. Protect our immune system. That's my oak leaf that I caught while it was falling down. That'll be fun. I think we should all go outside and try to catch a falling leaf when it's leaf full. I think it'll be quite fun. Again, remember to sort of draw the lines connecting. You can see my leaf is connected to the apple, connected to the grapes. Because everything's connected in this world. Mushroom. I don't know about you, but now I'm doing the drawing this mushroom. I'm thinking about all these times when, even with some of you, I think we went mushroom picking. And also when I was little, when we went mushroom picking with my family. It's time of preservation as we collect things, collect harvest. In the old days, we used to preserve everything. Maybe some of you probably remember. You collect sort of cucumbers and you pickle them. You collect mushrooms in the forest and then you marinate them. Autumn, especially beginning of autumn, is the time of plenty. Coming into the pumpkin now. I wonder if the Halloween will happen this year. Probably not many people will be doing trick-or-treating. We'll still carve out the pumpkin, that's for sure. Think about, because pumpkin, if you did draw a pumpkin, it's so big. What does it represent to you this year? You can also draw, I think I know what the pumpkin is for me, something that I need to submit for my studies later on this year. Hasn't happened, but it's going to happen this autumn. So I'm sending a lot of good vibes to the pumpkin and to my to my project. So same with you, if you have something that will happen later on this year, you can always, put it on paper. Just wish that one of those objects is that project and send it lots of good vibes. Because NeuroGraphica does work. It's quite amazing. Sometimes you draw and you think it's a bit of fun, and then in a funny way things start happening. Remember to connect some of those objects to the outside, to the edges of the paper. Are you guys enjoying it? Can you please put pluses in the chat if you are? Because we haven't done this before. And I want to have some feedback. Would you like to do it again? Do you find it quite fun? Okay, good. I feel like a child, actually, almost at school. I have this feeling that almost something that you do at, but something fun that you do at art classes. Takes me back in time. I had recently an interesting experience. I drew last time my business that was quiet this month, and in a day I have 6 orders at the same time. Miracle. Oh, that's really good. Oh, thank you for sharing this. That's amazing. Yeah, I know. It does happen. It happened to me as well. You draw something and then things just miraculously happen. Can't say it's all NeuroGraphica. I'm sure you're amazing at your business. But I think when you put your sort of thoughts somewhere to the universe and send good vibes there, it sort of answers back. No, I'm really glad to hear that. Brilliant. That's my oak leaf. From another girl. My business has picked up as well, and my health and diet have had an unexpected turn for the better. I'm quite impressed, actually. Oh, I'm really glad. Thank you so much for your feedback. That's amazing. Yeah, because we're all building our sort of new neuro connections, and it's probably our relationship with certain things changes. I was at the lecture yesterday because I'm still sort of studying, and it's interesting, we're drawing relationship to immaterial things. Like you can draw a relationship with your television or your telephone or your sort of laptop. And I'm sure a lot of you have thought that, for instance, you have an old phone and then it's working perfectly fine. And once you make a decision to swap it for a new phone, sort of your old phone packs up and stops working. Or your computer is playing up and then you ask it nicely to start working again or reload. It does. There is, possibly all those things not quite dead or not live. I think a lot of when we touch and when we communicate with a certain object for a certain period of time, it sort of takes on the almost, I can't say human qualities, but qualities of somebody or something live. Like stones, for example. mean, they vibrate at their own sort of frequency, and you have your own stones. I mean, I know there's some people here who understand more about stones than I do, but I quite like stones. I collect stones everywhere I go. I'm just doing a small. I'll show you. Last time we went with a friend of mine to a beach in Dorset, and look what I brought. I got stones. Yes. Don't know. I have a thing for stones. Not even pretty stones. I mean, not even sort of semi-precious stones, but I quite like even normal stones. Anyway, I just find that they sort of, although they are not live, but they just carry so much memory of things that happened, things that they've seen. All right, how are you guys doing? Have you finished sort of drawing new lines, new connections? Have you gone through everything? Or would you like to have more time? This is almost a process you can do forever. I'm really enjoying all this rounding and drawing extra lines and connecting everything. So if you're close to finishing this step, please put 1. If you're not, please press 2. And then I'll see if you want to do more of a kind of line drawing or not. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Some are done, some are not quite done. I think we're going to do it for another 5 minutes, and then we will move on to working with color. That's amazing. Sort of, I don't know if you like your picture. I really like my picture, my drawing now, because initially I wasn't sure. But once you start sort of rounding everything, you really start enjoying looking at your drawing. Because your brain likes having things that are not sharp. The more round they are, the more safe and aesthetically pleasing they look for your brain. I'm reading an interesting book on neuroaesthetics. So it basically kind of opens up why humans find certain objects more aesthetically pleasing than others. And it's a fact that human brain takes sort of round things much more aesthetically pleasing than sharp objects, just for the reason that anything sharp translates as danger in the brain, something that can hurt you. And anything round sort of is considered harmonious. Another 2 minutes and then we can move on. Yeah, it's interesting if you can still establish which one's which, because sometimes as you go over and over, some of those objects become more abstract. But and your brain still remembers what honey means to you if you were thinking about, certain events or certain people. Mm-hmm. One more minute. It's also, I was just thinking that autumn is also all about change. Change, because everything changes in autumn. Leaves change color. Quality of the earth changes. Animals change. They swap their summer color to autumn winter color. And so there's one thing, who said that? There's one thing, yeah, the only constant is change. That's the expression. Very true. Somebody who's a Greek philosopher, Heraclitus, I think, said that. Yep, very true. The only constant is change. Okay, so I hope we're finished pretty much with that. We can do it more later. I mean, in something like this, there's always room for going over and making it pretty. Yeah, oh, I forgot one leaf. And now we can take our colors and work with colors. So it's up to you if you want to take pencils, if you want to take anything else. I will be working with pencils today. And I'm going to start with my pumpkin. And as usual, we just basically pick the colors that we want. And blend them and merge them. We're going to make a really nice NeuroArt, really pretty abstract art. So it's up to you if you want your drawing to be more nuanced and more sort of pastel in appearance, or if you want to make it bright and vivid. Grapes don't have to be sort of purple. Leaves can be any color. Pumpkin, although mine is partly orange, but it's not going to stay all orange. It's going to be much more fun than orange. We'll make it purple. I'll make it purple. I'm going to make my grapes all different colors, because as my friends, as my colleagues, and all my YouTube and Facebook subscribers, they're all different. So my grapes are going to be all different. How are you guys feeling if you... Okay, Heraclitus, Pantarei, everything flows. Cool, everything around Pantarei. Love it. Yep, everything flows. I'm going to write it down somewhere. Pantarei. It's funny, I learned Latin, but I don't really remember. Don't really remember many things. I remember per aspera ad astra, but that's about it from my Latin lessons. So how are you feeling now? You're coloring. Just coloring always makes me so happy. It gives me so much more energy. Just feels like I'm going to get up. Ancient Greek, yeah, I thought it might be. I just want to get up and move. How are you feeling? No, but Marina, we kind of did some rounding, and you can do some more rounding later. So what I did, I went a few times over, and we do need to do rounding, but it's not as strict kind of as we normally do because it's NeuroArt. So where you feel like you need to do rounding, please do. And also we can do rounding a little bit later. So if there's some things like now, you mentioned this and sort of a couple of things really jumped at me, but in some places I will do sort of less rounding. This is NeuroArt, so we're allowed to do some things slightly differently than when we're doing proper NeuroGraphica. We'll go back. We'll go back to it later. After the cameras sort of switch off, I'll go more over my drawing and do more rounding. But at the moment, it was just kind of doing composition and adding a bit of color for fun. Back to my pumpkin. Can't wait to see your pictures, guys. I think this one will be a lot of fun. Apple, my family. Your colors have meanings for you. Then add those meanings to the objects. Add those meanings to the objects using color. It's interesting, I'm doing this apple, I can really smell it, sort of the freshness of it. You know, when you pick up and bite in an apple, it's got this divine smell, really nice. You can just smell the greenness of this apple. You can, as we usually do, you can unite different objects with the same color. I have no idea what it means, but I can see that this sort of pink is filling my jar with some sort of energy. Nice tomato. I don't know what my tomato is, but it's very important. I'm sure as I sort of fill it with color and run later, it will come to me. What would I like it to be? Oh yes, I know what it is. If you know what it is, you can always add sort of words to it as we do in NeuroGraphica. You can always write down what these things are. Okay, these are things that have happened and you want to give thanks, or something that will happen soon, something in the pipeline for you. Or you can just not give any meaning and just relax and meditate and enjoy the process. We don't always have to sort of draw with meaning and purpose. Sometimes we could just relax. Also, don't need to color everything. Color as much as you like, and you can leave some places white. Mm-hmm. Reflect how you're feeling. How does your body react? Are you feeling... I'm feeling hot, personally. Well, I was cold most of the day. I'm feeling quite hot. Using nice, warm, light colors. Feeling like I want to move. So how are you guys feeling? If you want to share, please put it in the chat. Because it's nice always to have a bit of feedback from the audience. Because I always say sort of self-care and understanding is very important as part of your, almost like looking after yourself, self-love. Whatever we do, we always need to sort of to reflect, how does it make us feel? How does our body react to certain events and actions? English red. Usually hot, but today very hearty, warm. Good. It's lovely. I'm feeling very, very warm, very hearty. I'm really having fun coloring these grapes. They're magnificent. Quite like this effect. A bit more green here. Did you, just interested, are you drawing any vegetables or fruit or any other items that are not on my paper? Any aubergines on your drawings? Oh, pomegranate. Oh, yes, I love pomegranate. And corn. Great, corn. Yes, corn is a very autumnal grain. Brilliant. And pomegranate. I've got to draw pomegranate next time. Golden pomegranate. Brilliant. I didn't have to think of that. Beautiful. I've taken some gold pencil. This leaf is going to be gold. If you fancy, you can always draw additional lines using the pencils, because they'll look quite good. Or if you want to round, you can always round with other pencils. Cauliflower, asparagus, parsnips, and butternut squash. Wow, that's brilliant. Cauliflower, asparagus, parsnips, butternut squash. Oh, these are great. Asparagus also. Nice. Can't wait to see your parsnips and butternut squash. That'll be lovely. It's all food. Well, so is mine. Mine's all, well, those chestnuts, they're not particularly edible. But everything else is food, yeah. Just realized I don't have much blue. To add more blue. Now I'm into coloring. I really just want to go. Teapot. Oh, teapot. Teapots. I love teapots. You know how many teapots I've got? Oh my goodness. I've got to show you one day. I've got teapots for each different type of tea. I'm massive on teapots and I love my teapots. Teapots are so important. Each tea deserves its own teapot. Wine. Wine, yes, that's a beautiful. It was a drink of the gods. There's a saying about it. Yeah, that's quite autumnal, right? When most of the wine is produced, who knows? I think wine normally is produced in autumn. We have some Italians here. Yes, September. Thank you. It is autumnal. Yes, I knew it. I should have put wine in here as well. Oh, we'll do it next year. We'll do wine next year. Let's see. Autumn is such an important season. As I say, it often gets overlooked. As people look forward to summer, then summer comes and we start looking forward to Christmas. And olives are harvested in November. Yes, olives. Oh, olives are great. Love olives. I just love food. I'm established. And when is the olive oil? Olive oil is pressed in November as well, isn't it? Yeah, because yeah, I'm sure. Because one of the tips, if you go to shopping for good olive oil, it has to be in the glass bottles. And also get the olive oil with the longest sort of use by date. Because good olive oil, I think it only lasts for about 6 months, sort of at the best. I mean, it lasts for much longer than this, but the best taste, the best aroma you get in the first 6 months. Some types of tea are harvested in September as well. But a lot of tea is obviously harvested throughout the year. And also, is there autumn? Just thinking about it, thinking about farming. Also, it's also a time to prepare yourself for the long, for the long winter. But also put seeds for the next year and for the next spring and summer, because farmers obviously do all their crops that overwinter, all their sort of winter crops in autumn. Do you want some music, or you're happy just chatting? Well, me talking and you typing. Let me know if you want music. You can put number 3 in the chat. Walnuts. There's only 1 3, so I won't put it on just yet. If I get more 3s, then I will. Here, my pumpkin needs to be a bit more purple, I think. Also, this, if you want a certain object to pop, you can always do the background slightly darker, so it looks like it's kind of slightly in front of the object. Just if you want to bring the object sort of more to the front using color, you can do that. Pencils are great for that. You just need to press harder. It will become more bright. It will become brighter. Blackberries. Who likes black color? I love black color. I actually like some of my drawings, just NeuroGraphica, just living in black and white. Okay, how are you guys doing? Are you halfway there with coloring, or a bit more, a bit further on? Can you put in terms of fractions? Is it like where you're 1/4 done, or half, or 3/4? Please, and if you can put it in the chat, that'd be great, so I know where you are. Okay, 3/4 done. Okay, good. All right, 3/4, great. So taken as an average, I think we're pretty much half done. Coloring. I'm going to put a little ladybird here on the potato. I've decided, because everything is very still. It's a very much still life. I think it needs, I don't know what this means for me in this context, but I really feel like a ladybird is in order here. I was drawn between a bee or a ladybird. Okay, let's do ladybird first. There you go. Ladybird, because I don't know about your houses, but I have so many ladybirds trying to get inside my window at this time of the year. There's also lots of spiders that are trying to get inside my house, but I'm not going to draw them here. Although I have the utmost respect for spiders. I think they're super useful. Okay, that's my ladybird. I'm going to draw some neuro lines from it. Connect it to some other objects. I think it's appeared here because, you know, we're talking about finding a cozy and making a space cozy. It's trying to find a cozy space for her to winter. That's my ladybird on a potato. Lara, I think you got slightly pushed out by the internet gods. I personally drew a little ladybird here. If you fancy, you can draw. Because I was just saying, we were talking that it's mainly sort of food, so I've decided to draw something live. And my nut is going to be green. This is green as well. Some bright neon leaves, brightening up the day, the autumn. That we don't normally use, but today we'll be using. We'll draw all our sort of energy flow, etc., using all different funky colors. You can use glitter on top, you can use anything you like on top today. Whereas NeuroGraphica is more, I would say, sort of you need to follow certain rules and more restrictive. Sort of NeuroArt is much more free-flowing. So if any of you wants to come, I will be running a basic use of NeuroGraphica course in Russian in October. Please let me know, send me a message. I will also be doing another basic use of NeuroGraphica course in English. So if you're interested, please send me a message too. And please put all this work that you do in the Facebook group. That'd be great, because it'll be lovely. So more people sort of will see your pieces of art, because I'm sure it'll be amazing. And please, if you are putting it on Instagram, use my hashtag neurographics.art. I'll really appreciate it. You can tag me. That is if you enjoyed today's drawing, of course. Oh, this is going to be nice. New pink leaf. again, guys, if you could use any colors you want. They don't have to be certain colors. You can use any colors you like. I think we'll spend another 5 minutes on this, and then we can move on. And that we can, after I switch off the camera, we can continue sort of chatting and finishing beautifying our drawing. I'm going to, since I love my black so much, I'm going to, some of these spaces in between, I'm going to do black, so the colors pop out more. Black or dark brown, since in autumn the days are shorter and it gets dark sooner. But you obviously you can do, you can use it white, it's up to you. Or you can do half black, half white. I might actually do that. For me, black is a beautiful color, just contains a lot of deep sort of energy. Okay, shall we say another 3 minutes, I think? I have a bit of darkness and a bit of sunshine at the back. stand up. Let's see. As well, you don't have to sit down all the time. You can stand up and move around. Okay. Are you all ready to move on to the next step? Can you please put plus in the chat if you are? As I say, we can go back to, or you can on your own go back to the coloring later. Okay. Lovely. Okay, perfect. So a lot of you are ready. I need to straighten my paper. Now we're going to draw energy flow through this drawing. So you can pick up slightly thicker markers. You can get felt tips. I'm going to try these babies here, brush pens. And again, pick any colors you like, or you can use even pencils, because this tomato is very active. It's been kind of spreading around, so I might do some of it in green, some of it in other colors. Okay, so pick any color you like. You can pick metallics in this instance, gold, browns, whatever color. And I'm drawn to this one. I don't know what color it is, color 407. And then we'll just draw a few lines. And I suggest I'm going to use the lines that I have now and just go over. It's very subtle. I'm going to take another color. I'm just going to use different colors. I'm going to rush. I'm just going to take my time. Nice green. also, if you are drawn to any objects and you want to put emphasis on a particular object, you can make it sort of thicker, the lines thicker, so it stands out if you look at it. For me, my focal points are actually tomato and apple. So I'm going to make them, the lines, thicker around them. So if somebody looks at the drawing, they will pay attention to the tomato and the apple first. And they seem sort of connected together. So I'm going to use red brush pen to go over them. Yes, and there's my autumn gifts drawing. I will work on it more. And I'll make it a bit more pretty and put some accents to it. But overall, it's done. So if you enjoyed today's drawing, please put your pictures into my Facebook group. And if you're posting it on Instagram, please use my hashtag neurographics.art. Thank you very much, and I'll hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.